Better have your shit together, because this may be the end of what we see when it comes to Martell Holt if you do not beat these charges. Nobody's taking any type of chances with anybody that has anything linked to anything that even alludes to abuse on women. And so it's just, to me, it's not part of his character. I just think she's upset, and she has a right to be upset, and she's scorned. I get it, but and he's still with Arionne, and so yeah, I would be petty too. Arionne took him from her all them years, and so now she's gonna take him from Arionne in the world. So it's tit for tat. That karma, you don't have a date on how that karma is returned, and so Martell just gonna have to eat this one. So y'all want to pray for him? Pray for him. If you don't, send him to hell. Okay. Here's his mugshot, though. Where is it? Yeah,
buckle up, because what's unfolding in Huntsville right now is bigger than anyone could have predicted. For Martell Holt, this might very well be the end of his public image if he doesn't successfully navigate the charges against him. This isn't just your typical reality TV drama. The stakes are high, and nobody is taking chances when it comes to allegations that even remotely involve the mistreatment or intimidation of women. Some people argue that this isn't part of Martell's character, and perhaps they're right. But let's be honest, someone is angry, and she has every right to be. Scorned, betrayed, and hurt, the person in question isn't holding back, and that's where the real tension begins. The fact that Martell is still publicly linked to Arionne only adds fuel to the fire. Years ago, Arionne took him from her, and now karma seems to be returning in full force. It's tit for tat, and Martell is going to have to face the consequences, whether he's ready or not. Pray for him if you want, or send him straight to hell. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. Let's get one thing straight. Huntsville is on fire, and this is not the kind of fire you light with a candle for ambiance. This is the kind of fire that makes you grab your popcorn, clutch your pearls, and hide your Wi-Fi password from everyone in your household, because chaos is about to erupt. Even Oprah's book club couldn't stir up this level of frenzy across a network, because Tasha K just dropped a bombshell that has everyone talking. And it's not just gossip. This is something that could reshape Martell Holt's entire narrative in Huntsville. We're talking allegations that strike at the very core of personal trust and integrity, and the ripple effect is already hitting every corner of social media. The central question that has the entire internet buzzing is this: did Martell Holt actually threaten to release his wife Melody Cherie's private tape? And what role did Ariane Curry play in all of this? Rumors of backdoor deals, hidden elevator confrontations, and leaked videos have been circulating like wildfire in Huntsville's group calls, and let's be honest, nobody is truly prepared for the level of mess we're talking about here. This isn't a simple love triangle. This is not the kind of drama you see unfold once and then forget. This is a modern-day Greek tragedy, complete with side characters, public humiliation, and courtroom theatrics, all playing out in real time for the world to witness. By the end of the story, one question will linger in your mind. Is Martell Holt the antagonist Huntsville created, or is he merely a circus clown who refuses to leave a family alone, dragging everyone into chaos along the way? Martell Holt has never been a stranger to controversy. His name alone evokes eye rolls, sighs, and collective groans across Huntsville. And whenever Ariane Curry enters the picture, you know things are about to escalate beyond anyone's control. Although Arionne has attempted to establish her own identity and career outside of Martell, the public will always see her as the shadow looming over his mess. It's impossible to separate the two in the court of public opinion, and that has only amplified the scrutiny on every move they make. The revelation by Tasha K shook the internet in ways that even the most dramatic reunion episodes couldn't achieve. The allegation was devastating and direct. Martell Holt allegedly recorded his wife Melody in a private, intimate moment and then used that recording as leverage, threatening her in ways that many considered unconscionable. The idea that someone could use their spouse's most private moments as a weapon made people question what kind of man Martell truly is, and it threw his entire public image into question. The timing couldn't have been worse. Martell was already facing court battles that were exposing cracks in his character, and fans were eager for confirmation that Melody's long-standing claims about his behavior were legitimate. The scandal spread through social media like wildfire, and even longtime supporters began to step back, acknowledging that perhaps enough really was enough. What started as whispers became a roaring fire, igniting heated discussions, viral clips, and trending hashtags across every platform imaginable. Martell's reaction to the allegations was perhaps the most telling part of this saga. He didn't show shame, he didn't acknowledge the gravity of the situation. Instead, he laughed it off, joked, and even mocked Melody's court appearance, referring to her white suit as a Sunday best outfit. The absurdity of making light of a serious court proceeding in front of a judge revealed a level of arrogance that many fans were finding shocking. And when given the chance to show remorse or accountability, Martell doubled down. His arrogance has become his signature move, a shield he uses to deflect criticism and scrutiny. But this shield is eroding. People aren't seeing humor anymore. What's left is perceived cruelty and a blatant disregard for accountability, and the world is watching every misstep with bated breath. And then came the infamous elevator incident, a moment that will go down in Huntsville reality TV history. Martell, Melody, and Arionne were all pressed together in a cramped courthouse elevator. Security tried to maintain order, but Arionne, true to her reputation, loudly reminded Melody that she was connected to someone else's husband's family, completely ignoring any notion of maturity or decorum. Arionne has long insisted that she is not a supporting character, yet here she was actively inserting herself into the drama and escalating tensions with targeted words. It was one of those moments where the irony couldn't be ignored. Fans and viewers alike were left wondering, why does this cycle continue, and what does it reveal about the real dynamics behind the camera?
What truly impressed fans during this elevator debacle was Melody's response, or perhaps the lack of one. She didn't scream, she didn't lash out, she held her composure, maintaining grace and calm while standing her ground. This moment became symbolic, not only for the immediate tension in the elevator, but for the broader dynamic at play. Melody's strength and composure stood in stark contrast to the noise and chaos generated by Martell and Arionne. The emptiness of Martell's smile and the desperation behind Arionne's words were amplified by Melody's silence, proving that sometimes power is shown not in loud declarations, but in measured restraint. As more details came to light, it became evident that this was not a one-time incident. This was a pattern, a consistent approach Martell has taken over the years. Whether it was conflicts with the Scotts, disrespect toward Melody, or playing the victim after instigating issues, the cycle remained constant. Martell's behavior exemplified manipulation, gaslighting, and intimidation, creating an environment where truth and perception were constantly in flux. The Tasha K revelations were particularly devastating because they validated everything Melody had been saying for years. Fans who had previously doubted her found themselves regretting not believing her sooner, and the public tone began to shift, with more voices rising in support of Melody, offering encouragement, validation, and solidarity. But Martell? He continued, seemingly oblivious to how serious the situation had become. He persisted in fabricating stories, claiming he had footage of the real abusers, blaming Melody and her family, and casting blame anywhere but on himself. But the public had grown tired of the same pattern. Serious allegations cannot simply be dismissed with laughter or sarcasm. Shifting blame does not change reality. By this point, the audience had grown beyond the entertainment value of the scandal. Reality TV thrives on chaos, yes, but when that chaos crosses over into manipulation, intimidation, and public humiliation, it takes on a darker significance. That is why viewers were outraged, and that outrage has only grown. The patience of fans officially ran out. Reports of covert recordings, leaked conversations, and purported evidence circulating in group chats intensified the frenzy. Martell allegedly bragged about having dirt on Melody and other cast members, implying that if he went down, he would take everyone with him. This only escalated the situation further. Public opinion does not wait for legal rulings, and in this case, fans acted swiftly. Boycotts were threatened, hashtags demanding accountability trended, and even business partners began quietly distancing themselves from Martell's brand. The online consensus was clear. When someone reveals their true colors, you believe them the first time. Clip after clip of Martell smirking at serious allegations circulated, reinforcing the perception of his insensitivity, while edited montages of Melody's calm, composed responses painted her as the unequivocal hero of the story. Co-stars who attempted neutrality were forced to take sides because silence was now perceived as complicity. Producers scrambled behind the scenes as tensions escalated. Alliances shattered, and Martell's charm and smooth-talking tactics could no longer salvage his crumbling image. The audience had fully turned. Martell Holt, once the centerpiece of Huntsville's reality TV scene, was now its cautionary tale, a stark reminder of how unchecked arrogance and manipulation can ultimately lead to downfall. So the real question now is this: where do you stand? Is Martell Holt a victim of fabricated rumors, or has his pattern of manipulation finally caught up to him? Reality TV thrives on drama, yes, but this story transcends entertainment. It's about ego, power, manipulation, and the consequences of actions exposed to the world. Melody's composure, Arionne's involvement, and Martell's arrogance all collide to create a narrative that is riveting, cautionary, and very real. The fallout is far from over, and every new revelation could completely reshape the story. If you want the latest updates on this saga, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with everyone who's following Huntsville. This story isn't finished yet, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.